I'm James Heaney, and this is Brief News Brief. All we are saying is give Trump another chance. Well, my chance bucket is running low. It's almost dry. I'm almost out of chances, and he keeps blowing them. You know, in a flurry of news stories this week, which I don't have time to get into detail on, there's a lot of craziness. So we're just going to do a brief news briefing on the latest Trump disasters. First, Kellyanne Conway was on Fox and Friends last week, and she broke the law. Let's take a video. Let's look at a video of her breaking the law.
This is just, it's a wonderful line. I own some of it. I'm going to give a free commercial here. Go buy it today, everybody. You can find it online.
That's like, you guys have seen idiot crime videos where it's like, oh, some dude robbed the bank, but he asked him to deposit it into his account and gave his social security number. This is the equivalent of that. Going up to a cop with a bag of weed and being like, hey, officer, I couldn't help how nice your uniform looked and figured you'd want to buy some weed. I grew it in my farm. You're going to go to jail. Now, I'm not saying she's going to go to jail, but she clearly broke the law on video being broadcast across the nation. Now, that's not all craziness. There's more craziness where that came from. Last Thursday, Trump's Muslim ban was shut down in a court decision that was 3-0, right? And this is probably the earliest time that the judicial branch has taken the powers away from the president. And on top of that, he has been going on and on about how there's phony judges and so-called judges. That sure bit him in the ass, didn't it? Now, even more things happened. I can't believe this all was going on while I was on tour. I took 1 day off and all this happens. Michael Flynn was in the spotlight because, if you recall, back in December, he just made a quick call to Russia and said, happy holidays. I don't know if you celebrate Christmas, but I just wanted to give an opportunity to say Merry Christmas or Happy Holidays. But you know what he didn't say? There's no way he talked about sanctions because he didn't even have his new job yet. Trump wasn't even president yet. Obama was still president. He wouldn't do that. That's illegal. Well, it turns out that phone call was being recorded. I guess that's just part of the process when you're talking to, Russia. You're going to get recorded by the FBI. And he did talk about sanctions. And he was generally saying, don't worry about these sanctions and the diplomats that are getting turned away, because once Trump gets in office, we're going to give you kisses every day. I'm paraphrasing. I don't know if it was kisses, but basically setting Russia at ease to not worry about all the huffabaloo until Trump came in. It's pretty bad, because he's been telling, he told Spicer, he told Priebus, and he told Mike Pence that he didn't do these things, or they're lying and he told them the truth and they just all thought that this was never going to come out, despite the fact that it's pretty common knowledge. Those calls are recorded. So they were going out vouching for him. And now when this information comes out, it makes everyone look like an idiot. Let's take a look at people that now, whether to fault of their own or not, they now look like idiots because of Flynn.
The subject matter of sanctions or the actions taken by the Obama administration did not come up in the conversation.
They exchanged logistical information on how to initiate and schedule that call. That was it, plain and simple.
They did not discuss anything having to do with the United States decision to expel diplomats or impose a censure against Russia. I can confirm that those elements were not part of that discussion.
Well, in all fairness, it could be argued that they already looked like idiots because of their faces, but I'm not just name-calling over here. I'm a professional damn news anchor, all right? But it's very odd that Flynn, who's the father of his son, who's a real big conspiracy guy, he's creating conspiracies for his son. I wonder if his son's going to start looking into these things. But that's not all. There's one more, pretty silly but very controversial that everyone's talking about, okay? It's the Trump handshake. He met with Japanese Prime Minister on Friday and shook his hand for a long time, prompting the Prime Minister to roll his eyes. I've seen this video a lot of times, but we've got it for you one more time. I'm telling you, that's incredible. His eyes were literally, it's going to be a meme. If it's not a meme already, you should create one, because that's a precious piece of filmography. I can't do it anymore. So, but on the most serious note, that I don't know if people are taking it as seriously. I'm not afraid of a lot of things. Not afraid of snakes, tornadoes, spiders, and nothing. But I am a little tiny bit nervous when it comes to North Korea, and they are testing more missiles, and lots of stuff is going crazy there. Fun stuff, right? Lots of new news. Late last night in Northern California, 188,000 residents were ordered to evacuate after a hole in an emergency spillway in the Oroville Dam threatened to flood the area with popcorn and butter. Well, it's actually just water, but almost equally as dangerous. One's bad for your heart, the other's bad for your lungs, unless you got gills, and if you got gills, you're a lizard person, okay? And there's conspiracies about it, and I'm on the watch for lizard people, okay? But talk about a traffic jam. Thousands of people clogged highways leading in every direction as the clock struck midnight. Worried citizens rushed to escape impending doom. Well, by early Monday morning, the threat had dissipated. Lake Oroville's water level had dropped to a point at which water was no longer spilling over, and the crisis appeared to be stabilizing. Increased flows are common at this time of year during the peak rain season, but it's unclear whether the damaged primary spillway will be able to handle high levels of water through the rest of the rainy season. Lake Oroville is one of California's largest man-made lakes, with 3.5 million acre-feet of water and 167 miles of shoreline. And on top of that, the 770-foot-tall Oroville Dam is the nation's tallest dam. It's about 44 feet higher than the Hoover Dam on the Colorado River, which is pretty crazy because everybody always thinks of the Hoover Dam being biggest. That's a little bit of trivia knowledge. You might win something on Jeopardy one day, okay? If you do, send a check to us. The lake is the linchpin of California's government-run water delivery system. And I already know what you're thinking. I don't like no government-run water delivery system. I want my own water. Well, please, spare us. California needs it for their agriculture, because this water goes from the Sierra Nevada for the agriculture in Central Valley and the residents and businesses in Southern California. It's very necessary, okay? After a record-setting drought, California has been battered by potentially record-setting rain, with the Northern California region getting 227% more rainfall than normal for this time of year. Water officials warned that the damaged infrastructure could further dangers as storms approach in the week ahead. And it remains unclear whether residents can return to their homes. For right now, they're kind of in a limbo state. Quinoa. Or do I mean quinoa? Isn't that the food Whole Foods people eat? I can't afford that, and plus it tastes like blech, like a big bowl of blech. In this health-conscious, gluten-free Fitbit society, quinoa has become quite popular as an alternative grain, both high in protein and low in carbs. However, up until now, the food could only be grown in certain areas of the world where conditions are ideal for the crop. This limited production has caused the price of quinoa to skyrocket in recent years. Scientists now claim that they have unlocked the quinoa genome and will be able to produce specific strains that can grow in multiple climates, thus making the food available to a much larger audience. In addition to growing more resilient strains, scientists also believe they can produce a sweeter, more palatable type of quinoa as well, so it doesn't taste so much like blech. You can find it then, if it tastes good enough, at places like your local McDonald's in quinoa fries and quinoa buns. Quinoa, what can't you do with it? That word is as hard to say as it is to swallow a spoonful of it. Pour, tally, a time. That didn't go. I thought it was going to be like dun 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 dun, but it just turned out to be. I really need an opening for this section. Here's the polls. We're tallying them up. Are you happy that Obama has moved on? The answer is what the f? We need him more now than ever. And is Trump the true face of America? Turns out it's the true butter face of America, because there's different faces, for different qualities. He wins the butter face of America contest. And finally, rules are meant to be guidelines. Don't let rules bog you down. Let it guide you to success. That's a tip for anyone that wants to be successful. Don't let rules shackle you. Here's the new polls, because I know that you're getting excited and you need to flex that democracy. First up, have you tried Quinoa? Quinoa? I always called it quinoa. Just recently found out it's supposed to be quinoa. Have you tried it? Now, do politics change your buying habits? You know what I'm talking about? You know what I'm talking about. And finally, are you afraid of refugees? Great. So we're going to be doing another show on Wednesday. We have a brand new head writer. Can't wait to show you what he brings to us. And we're going to probably have to take Friday off. I'm doing a show at Stanford University. Then we'll be back afterwards on Monday. I assume it's President's Day. You want to see us on President's Day?